The peace president, quote unquote, peace president Donald Trump is taking us to another war. Well, this time it is not Venezuela, and this time it is no picnic. This is serious. The Pentagon's warnings against a war with Iran, highlighting concerns from top generals about the potential for a disaster due to depleted U.S. military resources, is making headlines, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this on news coverage. These are authorized leaks from Pentagon aimed at signaling to the public that a war with Iran would be a very bad idea. But that's exactly what Donald Trump needs at this moment, with the Epstein files getting leaked and all those things, or released, not leaked. He needs a distraction. Therefore, here you have a war to serve Donald Trump's purposes. Now, what else we know is that significant leaks from the Pentagon indicating that their strong opposition is quite evident to a war with Iran. Donald Trump is trying to counter these leaks by framing General Daniel Kane as supportive of a swift victory. However, multiple top news outlets are reporting on generals' warnings of acute risk in an attack on Iran. The generals are saying, for example, Kane, that let's not go to this war because we do not know what will be the outcome. We do not have enough munition left after we have provided those munitions to Israel and also to Ukraine. Let's not do it this time. But obviously, Trump doesn't want to listen. The general's warnings stem from the limited supply of air interceptors and munitions, with the U.S. military's resources being significantly strained by support for Israel and Ukraine war. And this is something that was, made public, this information, long time ago, that because of this war with Ukraine, Russia, Israel, in the Middle East, the genocide, U.S. doesn't have a lot of firepower. They need time. But no, they cannot wait. Donald Trump cannot wait. A CSIS war game from 2023 indicated the U.S. would last only 1 week in terms of munitions in a war with China over Taiwan. A parallel can be drawn to Eric Shinseki 2003 warning about the troop numbers needed for the Iraq invasion, highlighting how the media was propagandistic then and is now. They emphasize that when military professionals warn about the capabilities and logistics, it should be taken seriously. But of course, that is not what is happening at the moment.
More to Israel and Ukraine since that time period, and the amount of spin up in our defense industrial base has actually gone down. Mm-hmm. So you can see that for them, they know, look, we can kidnap Maduro all day long. We can midnight hammer 6 B-2s with a place with no real aerial defense or any of that, whatever. But a real war, like ballistic missiles flying around, which we saw in the 12-day war, that alone drained 25% of our THAAD interceptors. The Pentagon is doing everything they can to try and have their Eric Shinseki moment. And look, bear with me, it's a little bit of a trip down memory lane, but back in February 2003, the Army Chief of Staff, Eric Shinseki, was forced to testify before Congress before the invasion of Iraq. And the Army Chief of Staff stunned America and the world when he said it would take several 100,000 troops to invade Iraq successfully. The neocons like Mark Levin and Bill Kristol and the Bush administration said he's a raving lunatic, it's an absolute lie, and they fired him. They forced him out of office. He was the Army Chief of Staff, but he was trying to warn all of us. And there were multiple other top generals internally, some even who resigned, people who told the president to his face, this is a bad idea. They leaked as much as they could, but our media was very propagandistic, just as it is right now. They were trying their best to do something like this. The professionals, and remember, these are not bleeding heart liberals. They're not anti-war like me. Dan Kane was one of the foremost proponents of the Maduro raid. He knows the capabilities of the U.S. military. When you have these guys going like, please get us off, like, do not make us do this, it is a blaring, like a flashing red light for the whole, because nobody knows our capabilities more than them. So when they're warning like this, they're doing their best. First of all, they want to survive. They want to be able to have the headline there in the future so that when a Democrat comes into power.
Absolutely. I mean, this is not a political matter. It is not anything but the safety and security, not just for America and its citizen, but also for the citizen of the world. Why would we go to war with Iran? That is not something that makes so much sense to me at all.